What's the best way to be a sleuth when you think someone's hiding the truth? Maybe you've wondered about that a little recently with all the Epstein file developments, and we thought some information was going to be forthcoming, and now it appears to be hidden in some way, and like we'll never know. And we wonder who's telling the truth and who's not, and who's trying not to implicate somebody else. A head scratcher for all of us. On a much smaller scale, in our own homes, in our own classrooms, in our own offices? How do we deal with somebody that we think is not being forthcoming, who may be hiding, even lying to us? Two steps. One, if you think that's happening, ask directly for the information you want. And number two, be at peace with never knowing that information and leave the other person to their own conscience. Now, I'm going to give you an illustration, a story that exemplifies those two practices. This is a true story from my husband's childhood, and he remembers breaking something in their home. He thinks it was a vase, and his father came home that night and lined up the children. There were four of them. And he said, "Children, I'm going to look you in the eye, and I'm going to ask you to look me in the eye, and I'm going to ask you one by one, did you break the vase?" Now, of course, my husband's siblings all denied it because they hadn't. But my husband remembers looking at his father and saying, "No, Dad, I didn't break it," even though he had broken it. He said it was a horrible feeling, but at the time I didn't know what the consequences were going to be, and I thought they would probably be worse than lying. He said, but boy, was I wrong. I carried that with me all the time, and I thought that felt horrible. My husband's father said, it grieves me that one of you still is not telling me the truth, but I will not mention it again. And he could have. He could have come back the next day and the day after that and said, one of you still, I'm ready for you to confess. But rather than escalate and berate, he left them, each one to their own conscience. And my husband learned from that experience. So, a couple of ideas to better sleuth when we think someone's hiding the truth. And those are my 2 cents.